All right, move on to the next story, y'all. So Wall Street is spending big for Joe Biden. So news came out, the CEOs of Quibi, Telio, all over Silicon Valley, all pouring in huge sums of money into Joe Biden's campaign. Facebook executives, California real estate developers pouring in hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars into his campaign. James Murdoch, the son of Rupert Murdoch, owner of 21st Century Fox, pouring in huge sums of money into Joe Biden's campaign. Big Wall Street donors, all the bundlers over there pouring in huge sums of money into these campaigns. And most importantly, the super PACs. Because now, ever since 2010 and Citizens United, you can raise unlimited sums of money as long as you don't coordinate with the campaign. We know what it is. They said that corporations have free speech rights, and money is now free speech. So they can pour huge sums of money, unlimited sums of money into super PACs. And as long as super PACs don't have coordination with the campaigns, very loosely defined terms there. Obviously, they coordinate on some level. So the super PACs, Biden for America, America for Biden, something like that. The two Biden-backed super PACs raised literally $90 million in the last quarter. They released where they got the money. Big Wall Street, big Silicon Valley, big California real estate. The major players, the people who have been backing the Democratic candidates for decades now. Big money behind the Democrats. Wouldn't be surprised if more insurance money starts rolling in as well, because Biden is obviously the guy for expanding the Affordable Care Act. Also, recent news came out that Wall Street's very comfortable with the Joe Biden presidency. There was news that J.P. Morgan and Chase was out there telling its investors and its shareholders that, hey, we're getting a little bit more comfortable with this. I like this. That nothing will fundamentally change. You guys are winning. I like this. You also had Wall Street consulting agencies telling their shareholders and their investors and their clients that, hey, things are looking good. Things are looking good. Many articles have come out about that. Again, the article also continues to state that support for Biden surged. And this is in CNBC. Support for Biden surged once donors realized that Bernie was going to lose. So Joe Biden is taking over. He's a nothing but fundamentally changed candidate. He's taking their money. The Wall Street bundlers are over there blowing a palooza at the fact that he won and not the existential threat to their finances of Bernie Sanders, the progressive champion that he is. So Joe Biden has won. He's a nothing but fundamentally changed guy. He's bringing in Wall Street money, bringing in the real estate money, bringing in the Silicon Valley money, probably going to bring in the health insurance giant money. And it's all going to be a little corporate shit show if we don't act. And this is the caveat for me, man. I don't want people to lose sight of the fact that Joe Biden is still a corrupt neoliberal piece of corporate trash. I don't want people to lose sight of that. He is. But he's better than Trump. He's better than Trump. He would at least handle basic governing. He would institute basic reforms and basic preventative measures that stop the spread of the virus so that 135,000 lives aren't claimed in 4 months. Right? Joe Biden can handle that. But he's not going to institute a Green New Deal, really? Medicare for all, really? Really? Tuition-free college, really? Living wage, when you're backed by Wall Street, when you're backed by Silicon Valley? You think he's going to be the candidate for workers' rights when you're backed by Silicon Valley and the little sweatshop operations? You really think he's going to be the candidate for institutional progressive change when you're backed by Wall Street? You think he's going to hold their feet to the fire and regulate them? Raise the corporate tax beyond Obama? Really? Redistribute the wealth so that we have equal opportunity in this country, institute basic progressive reforms, Green New Deal, ending the foreign entanglements. He's not going to do those things unless we hold his feet to the fire. And it's never been more evident. Money talks. Money talks. We know he's the corporate candidate. That's who Joe Biden is. I hate it. You look at his record. You look at the 50 years of his record in Washington. You see that he wrote the bankruptcy bill. He wrote the 94 crime bill. He was back then known as the bank guy. What was the firm? It merged in, I think, Bank of America. It was NBC. It was one of the largest banks at the time, based around the Mid-Atlantic. Joe Biden was their guy. There's plenty of articles out there about that. He was literally known as that bank's guy. Like, oh, if you need a measure passed, if you need a little deregulation here or there, you call Joe Biden. He'll get it handled. He'll sneak it into a little measure here and there, right? We know that's his record. We know that he's been a stallion for the Democratic establishment and the corrupt establishment and the corrupt neoliberal framework, the Bill Clinton triangulation, all the way down to the Obama presidency. He has been a stalwart for that for decades. We get that. But here's the point. We need Trump out, but then we have to, and if we're going to have to deal with him, we have to come together. All progressives, come together. I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again. It's on us. It's on us. These are the options presented before us. And by electing Joe Biden, you're saving hundreds of thousands of lives. You're saving trillions of dollars from our economy and the global economy. You're creating real change and you're driving us back from the cliff. But that doesn't mean that the work is done. It's nowhere near done because he is the Wall Street's guy. He's Silicon Valley's guy. He's big business's guy. They're comfortable with his presidency. He told them nothing will fundamentally change to their face on record. That's the fact of the matter. It's on us now. It is on us to hold his feet to the fire. This is a call to action. He's moving in the right direction. He sees that we need progressive change. He released a $2 trillion climate plan. He released a $700 billion Buy American plan to bring back American jobs. He's moving in our direction, but it's on us to actually hold his feet to the fire because that money is saying otherwise. That means coming together, organizing, joining the Sunrise Movement, joining U.S. Youth Climate Strike, joining Justice Democrats, supporting progressive candidates, making phone calls for them, volunteering for their campaign, donating. That means organizing when necessary, get protests in the streets, demonstrations in the streets, holding their feet to the fire, a general strike, right? Bringing in economic interests and saying, hey, we are going to hold back our dollar, hold back our spending power, hold back our labor power unless you institute real progressive change. These are the types of demonstrations that we need to start building. All of us together, from the Sunrise Movement to the labor movement to the Black Rights Movement, all these progressive organizations coming together behind an agenda. That's what we have to do moving forward because Joe Biden is not some stalwart progressive. It's not who he is, and he never will be. Move. Joe Biden is not some progressive. Okay, it's not who he is, plain and simple, and we know that. All right? So it's on us to come together and hold his feet to the fire through activism, through insurgent social movements to create real change. I'm telling you, dude, that's the only way moving forward. So when we are in the streets organizing for racial justice or whatever, we also organize for progressive change, for overall economic justice. We also organize and fight for progressive insurgent candidates, primarying people like Elliot Engel, people like Nancy Pelosi with Shahid Buttar's campaign. That's what we have to do moving forward. So I'm calling on all y'all to do that. If you need more help with that, again, DM me.